Hello, Division 4. Here's today's homework of 164 page. As we're transitioning from our single digits to the double digits and hopefully to the triple, the easiest way to transition, of course, is to use the base of 10 and the multiples of 10. Because if you're counting by anything multiplied by numbers based on 10, you just multiply the number in the 10 column and you would add a zero. For example, if you want to have three groups of 30, you would, since you're just multiplying 3 times 3, or three groups of 3, which of course gives you 9. In this case, we had three groups of 30, which gives you 90. So you're just adding the 0. Same thing with here. You have 5 groups of 4, which would give you 20. In this case, you have 4 groups of 50, 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of them being 50 would give you 200. So even though you've got the 0, when you add the 0, it becomes into the in the tens column. So having said that, what they're doing is just to practice here is that when you look at 30 times 50, you can count 35 times, you can count 5 30 times, or the easier way is just to multiply 5 times 3, which of course gives you your 15. And then doing your 5 times 3 is your 15, but then because you've added a 0, the 0 goes into the answer. Once we get into higher numbers, you'll realize that if you're counting by 5 by 300, and you're adding 2 zeros, and it's that simple, and you'll see that pattern, but we'll visit that another day. So as you continue on here, they're doing the single digit and then with the 10, and just throughout here. On here is one of these charts that you've become familiar with, in the sense that you're adding, 6 times 1, it gives you what? Instead of 60 times 1, make it 6 times 1, which of course gives you your 6, but then you have to add that 0. Here, you're asking yourself, 60 times what equals 120? Well, take off the zeros. 6 times what equals 12? Well, I know that it's 2. And once again, you could probably see the pattern here, but try not just to follow that pattern, but try to challenge yourself and maybe go from here and go backwards or something like that, rather than just do the obvious of just following, because there's not much learning when you're just counting in that sense. There is some, but not as much as there could be. I'm then continuing on here. So if I had 80 times 2, I can count by 80s, or I can count by 2s 80 times, or simply 8 times 2, because you know your times table so well now. You've got your 16 and the 0. Now, once again, columns matter, okay? So make sure that 0 is under the ones column, okay? Because you don't want to, neatness is one thing, but also when we get into higher numbers and when we have to start adding numbers, when we do our multiplication, you want to make sure you have nice, neat columns. So if you need to, you can draw lines to make it follow the line there. Okay, carry on here, and then of course they have one of these challenging questions at the bottom here. It says, explain how you use basic facts to multiply 50 times 7. So basically what I've just said, they kind of want you to interpret it in your own way to see if you have learned the concept. All right, until next time.